The two most frequently used methods to input communication frequencies are from the two cursor control panels, also known as the CCP, and from the multifunction keypad, also known as the MFK. The information from the MFK is entered into the blue scratch pads located on the MFD. The CCPs have 6 quick action keys and 2 triple function knobs. A small knob located at the top center of the CCP. This knob has a dual directional arrow on top, and a large knob located at the bottom of the CCP labeled Push Enter. There is a blue controlling box surrounding the standby COM1, COM2 frequencies. This blue control box is switched between COM1 and COM2 by pressing the COM12 button located in the upper left-hand corner of the CCP. The conventional frequency tuning method is performed from the CCP with a triple function knob with a dual directional arrow on top. The large outer knob controls the primary frequency numbers, and the small inner knob controls the secondary frequency numbers. There's a push-down function to switch the frequencies from standby to active. A more direct method to changing frequencies is from the MFK, the multifunction keypad. The MFK is located between the two CCPs, has an alphanumeric keypad, 14 quick action keys, and a pan-zoom joystick knob. The process requires entering frequencies from the alphanumeric keypad. There are 3 distinct ways: the traditional method, 1, 2, 3, decimal 4, 5, or 2, 3, decimal 4, 5, or simply 2, 3, 4, 5. The numeral 1 and the decimal point are a given and not necessary with the Proline Fusion. When entering this information on the MFK, the information is displayed in a blue scratch pad located on PFD number 1 in the lower right corner and on the MFD in the lower left and right hand corners. Once the information is entered into the blue scratch pad, press the quick action key labeled Quick Tune on the MFK. The Fusion Avionics knows what type of frequency is entered, whether a COM or a NAV frequency or the transponder code, and where it could potentially go. When the Quick Tune action key is pressed, a dialog box appears along the bottom of the MFD. This gives you options. Tap or press the option needed. COM1, 2, active or standby. The frequency will be placed in that position. If you place the desired frequency in the active position, the current active frequency will be placed in the standby position. If the frequency is placed in the standby position, press the small knob on the CCP with the dual directional arrow on top. This will transfer the standby frequency into the active position. The navigation frequencies are not actively displayed on any of the 3 flight displays. To verify, access, and tune the navigation frequencies, press the Tune Data Quick Action key on the MFK. This will display a pop-up dialog box on the MFD. Press the nav icon, and the NAV1 and NAV2 frequencies can be displayed and changed. The primary way to tune the NAV frequencies is through the Quick Tune button on the MFK. Simply enter the frequency from the MFK, verify on the scratch pad, then press the Quick Tune button. Select the location from the pop-up menu at the bottom of the MFD. From the same dialog box on the MFD, the transponder code information can be viewed and adjusted if necessary. You can confirm or change your transponder ID in the same way as you did with your code. Select transponder 1 or transponder 2 as necessary, along with mode selection. The auto throttles in 504 Alpha Whiskey is armed by the auto throttle button located in the upper right-hand corner of the SDU. To engage the auto throttles, press the Go Round button on the left side of the left auto throttle handle. To disengage the auto throttles, press the auto throttle disengage button on the right-hand side of the right throttle handle. The auto throttles operate in two modes, torque mode and speed mode, just not at the same time. The torque mode is controlled by the small knob on the SDU located in the lower right-hand corner. Speed mode is controlled by the speed knob on the flight guidance panel. To switch between torque mode and speed mode, simply press the knob located in the lower right-hand corner of the SDU. The auto throttles will protect the engines from over torque and temperature conditions. Although the SDU might indicate a higher torque, the actual torque on the engine gauges may read less based on the environmental parameters for both torque and temperature exceedant protection. Once the SDU and the auto throttles are initialized and tested, the auto throttles are ready for use. When you are cleared for takeoff, perform the before takeoff below the line checklist. Ignitions will be armed, engine anti-ice off, ice protection on, lights set, bleeds open, annunciators considered, runway verified, and then arm the auto throttles. The pilot not flying will press the auto throttle button and the auto throttle armed will enunciate on the SDU. When the aircraft is lined up on the runway, advance the throttles manually to bring the props onto the governors. Then activate the auto throttle by pressing the Go Round button on the left side of the left throttle handle. Verify the auto throttles are engaged by the green auto throttle annunciator above PFD number 1. The auto throttles will advance to produce max takeoff power, all depending on temperature and torque parameters. If the takeoff is aborted for any reason, there are several methods to reduce power and disconnect the auto throttles. 1. Pull the throttles to idle. This will override the throttles but will not turn the auto throttles off. 2. Press the auto throttle disconnect button on the right side of the right throttle handle. And 3. Press the auto throttle button on the SDU. Then pull the throttles to idle. If the auto throttles fail to arm, or the auto throttles are disconnected inadvertently, advance the throttles manually as you normally would in any other King Air, being cautious of torque and temperature parameters. Once airborne, the auto throttles are controlled by the small knob located at the lower right corner of the SDU. Choose the power setting needed for the particular phase of flight.